the reality of Sam's final hours. Doctors in half an hour. Now, Callum is not a happy camper in today's Shortland Street.
Are we together or what?
We're friends.
What do you want, Lauren?
I want to spend the night with you.
%, vegetarian and only eggs from happy hens. Look, sit down, I'll bring it to you, huh?
Not for me, thanks. Where did I leave my bag?
Upstairs on my bedroom floor.
Morning. Hi.
Morning.
We waited as long as we could to give you guys some privacy.
I had to talk her out of banging on your door with tea for two.
That's not true. So, all in all, a great night. I've told Maxwell how good you were.
Didn't have to. I could hear you through the walls.
And the play, I mean, if you're just going to tease him, go back to bed.
What, and miss out on the HOD meeting? I wish I could.
Look, there's breakfast if you want it, okay?
Is Lauren not eating?
Oh, she should after last night.
You cut it out. Have you offered Lauren some coffee?
Yeah, yes, please.
No, thanks. I really have to go. See you later.
Oh, wait a sec, I'll drive you.
That's okay.
Well, okay, what do you don't have to work? Let's hook up.
I'll text you.
That's it.
It's a 4 weeks roster. You'll be on your toes.
I'll be bored stiff. It's one routine procedure after another.
In my experience, every routine procedure is a chance to get that little bit better at it. You may not feel like you're upskilling, but you will be if you don't muck around.
You don't have to dress it up for me, Chris. I'm being punished.
You'll get more responsibility when I think you're ready for it. So far, I'm not convinced.
Sorry, I'm early.
No, come in. We're done, I think.
Yeah, excuse me. I've got a week's worth of ingrown toenails to prep for.
And lipoma at 11, if I'm not mistaken.
Woohoo!
Young man in a hurry. He thinks I'm holding him back.
Somebody needs to, from what I hear.
Mrs. Kelly's lung lobectomy. You got the notes?
Fascinating reading. OK, folks, the first item on the agenda is really Rachel's initiative, so I'll let her explain when everyone's here.
Sorry, busy morning.
That's quite all right, Chris. Rachel.
As of today, I'll be floating around the hospital observing various departments at work. I realise that will probably strike fear into the hearts of a few people, but there's really no need. This kind of assessment is standard procedure.
Yes, when the DHP's had to make cuts.
It's my aim to help you run your department at maximum efficiency, not to hack away at your budgets.
And how are you going to do that? Is it the same way you've helped Scotty by taking his budget over completely?
That's not the plan.
This time last week, you were talking about admin staff.
That's right.
I thought the idea was to cut jobs there.
Well, it hasn't worked out that way.
So now you've got your eye on the medical staff.
Please, there's no secret agenda.
I'm sure we've all got things that we could be doing better. Sometimes it takes an outside eye to see them.
Thank you.
Then you won't mind Rachel sitting in at the PCC for the next couple of days. I'm sure you'll make her feel very welcome.
Of course.
Zena. Zena. I am not sitting through 3 hours of kickboxing and subtitles.
Just trying to arrange a movie date.
Doug, that's a kid's film. Yeah, I know it's got Johnny Depp in it, but it's Johnny Depp and a whole lot of funny makeup. What's the point? Why don't we just meet up there and take our chances? Okay, it's good. All right, bye.
Whoever said women were hard to please?
If you see Mum, can you remind her that she's babysitting JJ? I won't be home tonight.
Sure.
She didn't waste any time. Who's Doug?
Tracy's brother. He's a policeman.
Oh, that could work. He's probably got the treat him mean thing down pat. That's what she's looking for.
I don't think she knows what she's looking for.
Well, she knew it wasn't me. As soon as she found out I wasn't the womanizing creep she thought I was. What am I meant to take from that?
I don't know.
What about your mixed messages?
Hi. Sorry I missed your call. Leave a message.
You know, it wasn't so long ago you weren't allowed cell phones in ED.
Yeah?
The rule these days is work calls only unless you're a patient.
Sorry, I forgot.
Laura not answering. But I can only think of one person who'll make you forget hospital protocol like that.
Well, she said she'd text me.
Yes, she did. I heard her say it less than 3 hours ago.
Well, and now her phone's off.
So? She's at work.
Well, I wanted to ask her out for lunch.
Don't be too keen, buddy. All right? You've already cooked her a breakfast she didn't eat.
Because she couldn't wait to get out of the place.
Because she's got a job to go to. What are you so worried about?
What if last night was a mistake?
Come on, I saw the grin on your face.
No, I mean, what if Lauren thinks it was?
Okay, how long have you guys known each other now?
Ages.
Exactly. Lauren's had time to think about what she wants. She knows you. She likes you. But she made you wait this long, and now she's probably enjoying making you wait again. Get used to it, buddy. It's what they're like.
Brooke, I need to talk to you.
Oh, just go through. We'll be there in a moment. I wanted to grab you too. You haven't forgotten that I'm leaving early tonight, have you?
I know there's a reason. Remind me.
The sponsorship due tonight. It's not too late, but I'm getting my hair done.
Okay, go for it. But just remember that it's meant to be Berenger's schmoozing us, not the other way around.
Doesn't hurt to put on a good show. And don't forget what I scored last year.
Oh, Berenger Pharmaceutical's a girl's best friend.
Oh, come with me if you like. We're both invited.
Oh, no, that's your territory.
Hi, are we all set?
Actually, I haven't been able to talk to Brooke about it yet. Rachel's going to be sitting in on some of our consultations.
Oh. It's not just the PCC. It'll be Edie's turn next.
It's part of a general efficiency drive.
I wish I'd known sooner.
Why? What would you have done? Baked me a cake?
Mrs. Carstairs is waiting.
What's wrong with her?
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
Assuming that she doesn't mind an observer, we do have to ask.
Oh, of course.
Mrs. Carstairs, this is Rachel McKenna. She's one of the hospital's managers. Rachel would like to sit in on our consultation, but it is entirely up to you. It's a very personal thing, isn't it, the patient-doctor relationship?
I'm afraid I'm not very interesting.
Oh, I'm sure you are. So you don't mind?
Intriguing things, lipomas. We don't really know much about them. From the Greek for fatty tumour, of course, which is all too reminiscent of a nickname that I had at school.
We do know how to remove them.
Oh, yes, it's very straightforward. I'm sure Dr. Worthington's been over it with you.
Sort of, yeah.
Now, if you start feeling unwell after the anaesthetic, make sure you tell Tanya here. She'll be your angel of mercy for the rest of the morning.
I love how you make it sound like I just flitted down from a cloud somewhere. It takes years of hard slog to be a nurse, thank you.
Waste of time paying her compliments, mate. You'll only have them thrown back in your face.
I beg your pardon?
Give up. You're too nice. I had the same problem.
Dr. Worthington, a word?
I reckon our patient here's more Tanya's sort. She likes a few rough edges.
That's enough. You're embarrassing yourself and us.
Consent form. You don't sign it, I get into trouble. Can't have that, can we?
He said what? Tanya was deeply offended, and Isaac didn't seem to care whether the patient heard or not. I tried to pull him to line, of course, but I doubt I made any lasting impression. He seems to have as much respect for me as he does for the orderlies.
Not a lot, then.
If it was just my dignity at stake, I wouldn't be here. But I'm really much more concerned about his attitude to the work. He seems to be approaching every procedure as if it were a time trial. Exactly what he's attempting to prove, I couldn't say. But frankly, I'm beginning to worry about patient safety.
Of course. I'll talk to him.
It's a little on the high side, Mrs. Nash, but we were expecting that. Still taking the pills, I hope?
Oh, yes.
They're a wee bit hard to swallow, those ones, aren't they?
Sometimes.
There's an alternative that's just come out. It's a little bit more expensive, but they're easier to get down and fewer side effects, so it's probably worth the extra. I could write you a prescription now if you like.
Yeah, go ahead.
Have a go on these, and we'll have a look at your blood pressure again next week.
Don't.
It's only me.
Even so, the boss doesn't like public displays of affection.
Well, tell her not to worry. I don't want to kiss her. Do you know your phone switched off?
Is it? I switched it off when I went to see Dad.
Well, how is he?
Good. He's still raving about the play. Wow, 4 missed calls.
3 of them from me, so don't even bother listening to them.
Okay.
Have you had lunch yet?
Ages ago.
Oh, and what are you doing tonight? We're weird not doing the play.
It'd be even weirder going back till tomorrow. Make sure you look at your lines again. I'm going to.
Well, I thought I might cook some dinner tonight, and you should come around.
I can't. I promised Dad I'd spend some time with him.
Well, after that?
I should really do some study. I'm so far behind.
Lauren, are we okay? Because I'm getting this weird vibe that...
Sorry, I have to get back to work. She's giving me the evil eye.
You wanted to see me?
I hear you got through Mr. Lyons' lipoma in record time.
Who complained? I bet it wasn't the patient or the DHB for that matter.
A member of your surgical team brought it to my attention.
Right, he would have had enough time to pop in here and have a good whinge when he finished early.
You're assuming it was a man.
Wasn't it?
From what I've heard, I could have had any one of your colleagues in here.
Whinging.
Expressing concern.
Why? Did I make any mistakes? Did the patient die? No. He got wheeled off to the ward, happy as, and we all got to go to lunch half an hour early. What did I do wrong?
You could have invested a bit more time in some genuine teamwork for a start.
I don't know what they want from me.
Well, that's your problem right there. I'll tell you what they don't want. A trainee surgeon talking down to them. And what did you say to Tanya in front of Mr. Lyons?
Okay, that shouldn't have happened. I was out of line.
Finally, he admits it. Thank you.
You know why, though, don't you?
Yeah, you've been in a foul mood ever since you saw the new surgery roster.
Well, can you blame me? It's been half a day and I'm bored stiff already.
Oh, I'm sorry, Isaac. How can I make your life more interesting? Would a formal warning help? One more complaint and I won't hesitate, cousin or not.
Daniel! Oi, you're not talking to me now, you're a big star.
What?
Yeah, I'm glad you went this dozy on stage. Did you have a big night or something?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, noticed you didn't stick around the IV.
I was kind of over it, so I snuck out.
5 minutes later, Aaron wasn't there either.
Oh.
All right, my business. You're both great, by the way.
Thanks.
Lauren's a bit of a star, eh?
Okay, can we please not talk about Lauren?
What happened? Is it all off or something?
Yeah, it was on. It was all on. More on than it's ever been before, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I thought as much. All that opening night excitement had to go somewhere.
Well, and now she will barely talk to me.
Is it that bad? I mean...
No, yeah, I know what you mean.
What's the story?
Look, I don't know. I thought we were good together. I thought it actually meant something to her. Now I don't know. I don't know.
Well, there's only one way to find out. Ask her.
Okay, well, it looks like you're on track with changing your diet. Now, what's really going to help is getting more exercise. So that means a good brisk walk for half an hour, at least 3 times a week. I know, but hey, you might surprise yourself and start enjoying it.
I'll try.
Okay, good on you. Now, you give me a call if you need a hand.
Thanks.
All right, see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Well, I'm sorry, love, but if you want to lose weight, the only person who's going to do it is you. Half the time, they just want you to wave a magic wand.
Or write a prescription for drugs. That seems to be Brooke's stock response.
Well, different GPs have different approaches. I'm big on green prescriptions, so diet and exercise. Brooke's more
inclined to push Beringer Pharmaceuticals any chance she gets. I was starting to think it must be policy.
Well, it's not mine.
6 out of 8 consultations, and in most cases there was a generic alternative that would have been cheaper for the patient.
Well, that's just one morning. Tomorrow could be completely different.
I doubt it. I've gone back through Brooke's records, and she's nothing if not consistent.
Well, I know she believes in keeping the sponsor happy, but maybe she's been taking it a bit too far. I should have been onto that, really.
I'm not criticising you or Brooke. It's an observation, that's all.
And don't forget to take the whole course, even if you feel better. See you soon.
Another happy customer off to the pharmacy clutching his prescription. Another little jump in Beringer's profits. Rachel thinks you might be in the habit of over-prescribing their drugs.
That is nonsense.
I wonder. Let's take Mrs. Nash as a case in point. We both know from her file that she has a community card, so we know straight off that she doesn't have any money. Yet you've got her paying for a Behringer's antihypertensive when we both know that the generic ones are just as good.
Well, I beg to differ. They're difficult to swallow.
Did Mrs. Nash complain?
No, but she
So
agreed with me.
why?
They have fewer side effects.
According to what? Behringer's glossy pamphlets?
In my professional opinion, their products are generally superior.
Marginally superior, I would agree with. Worth the extra bucks? Now that's where we part company.
I like to give my patients the option, and I always tell them about the extra cost.
Brooke, they're sick people. If they think they can help themselves by throwing some money at the problem, then most of them will, even if they can't afford it. Is there some kind of quota system that I don't know about?
What?
How many prescriptions equals a gold watch? Well, that's the way it's starting to look.
There is not a doctor in this building who hasn't accepted a gift from a drug company. Excuse me, I have to go. My hair appointment.
Well, if it's tonight, then don't bother. I think I'll meet with Behringer's myself.
But they're expecting me.
Well, I'm sure they'll be very disappointed when I turn up instead. Too bad.
Did you hear about me stuffing up a consent form?
Tiny blip in the radar a couple of days ago.
That's what it was. A tiny mistake. One I wouldn't have made if Tanya hadn't been distracting me.
Yeah, well, see, you've got to learn to multitask. See, pervert the hot nurses and treat the patients while you're at it.
There's more to it than that. She's got it in for me. So has Chris.
Of course, you're a threat. When an old man like Warner sees a young talent like you coming through, all he wants to do is crush you like a bug. Must hurt even more that he's related to you.
No, he's way too cocky to be threatened by me.
You reckon? A young buck like you pushing at the boundaries? See, you got to remember there's a whole generation of cocky surgeons Chris's age and younger. They're not going to get out the way just because you're in a hurry to show off. As for the Tanya Jeffreys of this world, there's plenty of those too. But they don't all drink at the IV. So, let's go find you one.
I didn't think I'd be seeing you again so soon.
Yeah, not such good news on the PCC front, I'm afraid.
You gave me 6 weeks.
Yeah, the rest of the board weren't too happy with me about that. Look, Callum's too emotionally invested to deal with the PCC's possible
I get that you don't want
demise.
him jumping up and down until you've got all the facts.
But what about you?
Sorry?
Callum's been a great support to you.
I'm only trying to save the PCC out of loyalty to him. Is that what you're saying?
That's what some of the DHB are saying. Look, all up, you're fighting a battle that is not going to be easy to win. And do you remember Luke Derville, our clinical director of anaesthesia?
Kurt Wilson.
Behringer's CEO. Of course, we met last time. And you know Dr. Sarah Potts.
Hi.
Hello.
Excuse me.
Yes, and if you'll excuse me. I was expecting Brooke.
Yep, change plan.
Sarah, this is William Nugent of the DHB.
Hi.
Hi.
Sarah is the head of our PCC.
Ah.
And you know Callum, of course.
William. Callum.
Ah, look, here we go. You're handing out the bribes already?
You're lucky to have found such a generous sponsor.
Yes, yes, aren't we?
You got my text then?
Yeah.
So why didn't you text me back?
I told you I was going to spend some time with my dad. Dad doesn't like it when he doesn't get my full attention.
What, and after that?
I came straight here. I thought that's what you wanted.
You could have told me.
If I'd known what a stink mood you're in, I wouldn't have bothered.
Look. Whoa.
I'm trying to cheer you up. Is it working?
Look, maybe we should just talk.
Later. In bed? Yeah?
Whoops. I think you got the wrong place. I thought you said there was a party here.
That's what you said.
What gave you that idea? A tiny little lie. It was either that or say goodnight, and I wasn't quite ready to do that. Oh, sorry, Chris. This is Melissa, Chris.
Hi.
And this is Tina. Nearly called you Tanya. I wonder why.
Hi.
You've had a good night? Yes. That's still early.
Exactly. Couldn't you find another pub to crawl to?
My turn. You don't mind, do you?
Keep the volume down. Harry's asleep.
Got anything dancy?
Can you dance to Shostakovich? I'm not slurring my words, it's it. Shostakovich. Wonder if I can say that when I'm sober.
I'll get out of your way. Nice to meet you.
And you?
Please don't turn the place into an all-night disco. I have work in the morning. So do you.
Dad, what's all the noise?
Your Uncle Isaac has made some new friends. Come on, mate. Back to bed.
Thank you again. And drink up.
I'm sorry, but I can't look at the CEO of any drug company without seeing John Granger.
Behringer's isn't Scott Spear, Sarah.
No, but they snapped Granger up as soon as he was out of a job.
Yeah, that was before the trial. They didn't know.
If you ask me, they're all the same. Why are we here?
To be nice to the sponsors and let them be nice to us.
To be pushed into prescribing their drugs. If you want that, you can have it.
I suppose you don't want their money either. I hope you realise you wouldn't have a job without it.
So what did you think?
It was a good speech, very smooth.
Yeah, I like what he had to say about the international outreach program.
Yeah, it sounded good, didn't it?
You don't seem convinced.
I'll believe it when it's more than a PowerPoint presentation. All we got tonight was propaganda.
Public relations, yes.
Who should we put first, the patients or the drug companies? Let me see. When was the last time the patients gave us bling? The occasional plate of scones doesn't really cut it. Well, I'm sorry, but it does with me.
Yeah, the patients always come first, Sarah.
Look, I'm not anti-medication, but I'm not going to prescribe Behringer products just because they give us money. Not when there are perfectly good alternatives available that cost a lot less. It's immoral.
William was asking about the whiskey selection next door. Not my specialist topic anymore, I'm afraid.
Why do we need Behringers anyway? In an ideal world, the PCC would be funded entirely by the DHB.
But I'm sure I can find something to recommend. Would you take William through and I'll be there in a minute?
Sarah, pull your head in, I'll say it again. Behringer's isn't Scott Spear.
It's its own very special brand of evil. It's much more subtle. I'm sorry if you guys can't see that.
Keep talking like that and you won't have to worry about them anymore.
What?
If you want to keep your job, shut up now.
It's an all-singing, all-dancing edition of Our Friends in the North as Kevin McAleer investigates the musical heritage of the Ulster Scots at 8:30. Next, New Love certainly suits Mrs. Tembe in Doctors.